right wing to Mackey. Up top to Ramos. To the free throw line to Morgan. Fadeaway J out the back of the rim. Pulled down at the free throw line by Heidke, his first board. Outlet to the near sideline. The dribble across from DeKay. Tries to thread it down the lane to Hobbs, but overthrows into the baseline, out of bounds towards Coach Reeves for turnover number 10. You cannot beat a team at Tasker Arena like the Hobbs Eagles with that many turnovers.
No, they can, but you know, they were handling it early, but you know how the pressure is. It's like poison. Eventually it sets in. It's already setting in early.
Jalen Gore gets some pressure as he comes across the timeline with Caleb Johnson. Stop and go. Push pass to Morgan on the right elbow. Over to the right corner back. He drives baseline. Touches it back to Morgan. Lays it over the front right rim and count it. Bucket for Trey Morgan. He's got 3. 18-12. Eagles by 6. Driving to the other end. Getting blocked from behind is DeKay Swat for the Eagles by Morgan. Picked up by Ramos. To the right corner for Mackey. A fadeaway 3 in the deep right corner and puts it through. Mackey with 5 points. The Eagles now have converted 2 trays. Had their biggest lead at 9.
And the student section is on their feet cheering loud as Mackey gets another steal.
21-12, and Mackey stealing at half court, ripping it out of Heidke's hands, who slams him from behind. That's turnover number 11 for Piedra Vista. And we'll get the foul here. That one will be charged to Heidke, his first 16th foul now. And Eagles will have it in the front court from the near sideline in front of the Taskervich band. Tyler Box will check in for Michael Mackey. Gets a well-deserved rest with 5 points so far in that tray just seconds ago, plus a couple of steals. Ramos will inbound to the backcourt to Box. Throws it across the timeline to Gore on the left wing. Touch pass to Moore, left corner. Back to the right side to Ramos for 3 off the side of the rim. No good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound for Piedra Vista is Hopp, his second board. He'll throw it back to the near side to Pierce. Cross court right to Begay. Again to Pierce. And a touch pass up to left wing to DeKay. Actually, that's Hopp. Back to the timeline to Pierce with 2 seconds. He lost the ball for a second. Dishes off to the right wing, but not in time. Johnson cannot get a 3 to end up the first quarter. Hobbs up with their biggest lead of the game. 21-12 over Piedra Vista. The first round of the 62nd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Back in 60.
You're clear.
60 seconds, please.
Okay. $30. $15. $5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. 7:53 on the clock. Eagles get a quick score here. 23-12 they lead as they put it in on an Aaron Morris shot.
Aaron Moore with 11 points to lead the Eagles of the 23. A long pass the other end, though. Piedra Vista lays it in uncontested that time as John DeKay now with 5 points. So the Eagles now with a 9-point lead. Here with 7:30 left, second quarter. It's going to be a fadeaway 3 from the right wing as Jalen Gore connects for his first points. He's got 3. 11 for Mora, 5 for Mackey, and 3 apiece for Gore, Box, and Morgan. Coming up the far right sideline, Heidke gets it knocked out of his hands by Ramos. It'll go back to the Panthers. Their top scorers in the first quarter, 4 for Ramos, and 3 for Heidke, and 2 for Hopp. Inbound to the top of the arc, John DeKay. He'll back it out to the timeline. Gives it off the left side to Heidke. Takes a few dribbles down the left side of the lane. Backdoor bouncer. Going up strong with it as Ramos gets rejected from behind by the other Ramos for the Hobbs Eagles. It'll go out on the left baseline. Back to Piedra Vista.
Great job blocking the ball there by Ramos. I mean, he got up there and swatted that into the bench.
Eagles' biggest lead is 12. The inbound knocked out by Box on that deep left corner of the baseline there as he knocked it away from John DeKay. Eagles up by 12, 7:07 left, second quarter. First round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 62nd annual. Inbound comes to DeKay on the right wing. He'll hold it against Morgan. Puts it up top to Heidke. He'll back it out to the timeline, guarded by Gore. Drives to the right elbow. Uses up his dribble on the jump stop. Underhands it up top to DeKay. putting an arm into Morgan. No call there. Spins at the free throw line. Sends it back to the timeline to Heidke. Kicks it over to the left wing to Pierce. Bounce pass to the free throw line. Stolen by Box. Turnover number 12. He takes it down the lane with a scoop shot on the left glass and scores. He's knocked to the floor. Tyler Box with 5 points, and coach for Piedra Vista jumping off the bench, and he wants to talk to his team. Brady Rivers calling the timeout. He does not want to get this away with a 14-point deficit.
No, he doesn't. And, it's one of those things that he had his team in it for a while. And now that things are starting to get out of hand, it's like an avalanche. It just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Next thing you know, the ball's too big to stop.
28-14. The Eagles had their biggest lead, doubling up on Piedra Vista. And do you think road trips do matter to a team when they have to come from that deep part of the top northwest part of the state all the way down here to Hobbs, New Mexico?
It didn't seem like they started off that way. Honestly, what I think it is that the pressure is something they're not used to seeing. This is a smaller school, and they've struggled with the bigger schools, and I think that's more what it is than anything.
And the fan base that attends the games, that's a big one, too, for the Eagles' cause, the sixth man. Inbound comes to Pierce, he'll throw it across, a 2-on-1. Backdoor going up high with it is Ramos, but rejected by Mora. Put back up by Decay, can't get it to drop. He goes up again, and a ball swatted by Mora. It goes off Decay's hand, out of bounds on the baseline. Eagle ball, right side in the backcourt.
Mora pinned that on the backboard and let him know who owns the rim.
6:27 left here in the second. Hobbs still up 28-14, doubling up on the Panthers. Taking the ball across the timeline is Gore to the left wing. Gives it off to Ramos, cross-court right to Box. Wide open for that NBA three again. This one in and out. Ball's loose at the free throw line. Ramos comes up with his second rebound. Goes up with a reverse layup left side off the glass, no good. Mora goes back up. He's rejected in his third board. And the ball gets knocked to the free throw line and picked up by Randall Begay. And looks like the referee thought there might be a little scuff going on after that as he runs over there. They call the foul, desperation by Mora. His first 15th foul against the Eagles.
And Decay decided to go ahead and get revenge on Mora and block him back for what happened earlier.
Ball comes on the near side, stolen by Ramos. That's turnover number 13. He goes to rack, double clutch, high off the right glass and puts it through. That's Ramos now with his first bucket. It's 30-14. The Eagles now with 6 scores in the books. And the inbound to the near side is stripped away by Box at the timeline. Gives it to Mora down the paint, leans and shoots out the back of the rim. But tipped back up and in by Ramos, going high over the rim and puts it down for 2. His 4th point, 3rd rebound. And coach is going to call another timeout. Rivers is not a happy camper with this Piedra Vista club right now.
He wants to take a long timeout. We'll take one too. Appreciate you joining us. We got the broadcast switched over to the boys game, so you can catch it on the YouTube.com channel as well as Cool 95.7.
You're clear.
30, please.
Ten. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back, 32-14. The Eagles over Piedra Vista. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Fred.
The Eagles with that 18-point lead, their biggest of the game here in the second quarter. Turnovers not helping the Piedra Vista cause. They've got 14 of those, only 2 for the Hobbs Eagles, and some of these passes just going off fingertips, just kind of like blood in the water for the Eagles defense. They love when that happens on the pressure. The bouncer on the inbound of the near side, fumble as I mentioned, and Pierce loses out of bounds. Another unforced error on the near sideline. Eagles will get it after the 15th Piedra Vista turnover in their front court.
And you know Coach Rivers is over there. I know that feeling where you just hang your head when something simple like that just doesn't go your way.
Van Landingham swings it up top to Gore on the 3 shot off the back of the rim. Ball rolls out to the far sideline. Trying to chase it as Ronnie Ross near the scores table, but he can't get to it quick enough, so we'll be back to Piedra Vista. Eagles with a matchup, man-to-man defense, full court pressure, inbound to the baseline to Decay. Guarded by Van Landingham on the far sideline. Stop and go, spin move. Spins left, right, comes across the timeline, and Van Landingham slides into him, knocks down Decay from behind. So Van Landingham will pick up his second. That is the 16th foul against the Eagles.
Van Landingham is a very physical player. Like you said, he takes that football side to basketball.
Yeah, not wearing a helmet or shoulder pads in this game. Inbound to Decay to the left elbow. Fade away from the left block. And they're going to say he traveled first as he leaned into Van Landingham. Luckily, they didn't call another foul on him. That'll be number 3, but that'll be a travel instead. 16 Panther turnovers here in the first half.
And you can see that they're already huffing and puffing over there. They're starting to really drag their feet.
A 1-1-2-1 zone right now as they get Jalen Gore across the top into Ramos right wing. Back to Gore, fakes it 3, he turns to Ramos. He'll spot up a tray from the right perimeter, no good. Loose at the free throw line, picked up by Van Landingham, top of the circle, his second board. Over to Ramos on the right wing, drives baseline, 15-footer, swish it through. Ramos now with 6 points going here, or make it 8 points here in the first half. 34-14, the biggest lead is 20, and a fumbled pass down the near sideline goes out of bounds in front of the Hobbs Eagles student section for turnover number 17 for Piedra Vista.
And Ramos is the one that caused that. He got his hand on it and knocked it into the knees of the Piedra Vista player.
Ross at the free throw line, gives it to Gore, left baseline, is rejected on the jumper, pulled down in the middle of the paint after the block man, and that was Paul Brown, his first rebound. Throws it back to the timeline, Begay in the front court, slings it over to Pierce on the left wing. Guarded by Ramos, dribbles left to right, tries to bounce it back door to Heidke, gets stripped. They're going to call the block foul as Ross tried to get over there to make a play on the drive, but they get Heidke on the drive itself, not the shot. So that will be the foul against Ross, his first and the 17th foul.
And Ross will head over to the bench as well as Ramos. Coming in is Royal and Samaj Williams.
They had it at 6 before. Now it's still at 6. I'm not sure why it didn't go to 7. Inbound to the right base is Paul Brown with the pivot. Hands it off right corner to Ramos. Back to Pierce. And sling it to the left wing to Heidke. Spins, goes baseline. Guarded closely by Williams. Turnaround jumper, fade away from Heidke off the left block, no good. Long rebound for the Eagles in transition. Darius Royal, he throws a bad pass to the timeline, taking it to rack at the other end, but getting swatted is Pierce coming down the right side of the lane by Mora. Mora sends it right back off the body of Pierce out of bounds on the baseline.
And that was one where the ball was coming down and Pierce was standing there. He thought the call was already out of bounds and ended up landing on him.
Eagles up by 20, 34-14 in the front court. Gore on the right wing. Gives it off to Royal, right elbow, fadeaway jumper off the back of the rim, no good. Ball tipped up in the air. Royal's going to battle for it as him and Van Landingham crashing the boards. And there's a body foul. I think they're going to say somebody bodied up against Piedra Vista that time.
I think they got Darius Royal on that one. Piedra Vista will go to the line.
Yep, they're going to the other end. That will be the 17th foul. That time I'm sure of it. They'll call that one, as you mentioned, on Royal, his first 17th foul. And that will be some one-on-one free throw opportunity. Piedra Vista just 1 for 1 from the charity stripe. And that will put on the line Paul Brown for the bonus. Shot is up, and it's a hard one off the back of the rim. No good. Mora rips it down. That's his 4th rebound outlet to timeline. Jalen Gore. No look pass to Williams on the right base. Back to Gore on the left wing. Guarded quickly by Heidke. He'll dribble it near the scorer's table, near the timeline. Stop and go. Spins. Keeps it on the far side. Cross court right to Van Landingham. Over to Royal on the right elbow. He pivots. Double team against him. Up top to Jalen Gore. Sends it down to Moore on the left block. Back door to Royal, but it's deflected and taken away by Derek Pierce. Turnover number 4 for the Eagles. To the near sideline to Decay. Cross court right to Begay on the right wing. He gives it up top to Pierce. Swing it left side to Decay on the perimeter. Guarded closely by Moore with 3:20 left, second quarter. Eagles by 20. Backs into the lane, hippity hop, turnaround jumper off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound by Samaje Williams on the left block. His spurs. He'll dribble up midcourt behind his back at the Hobbs logo. One-hand bounce pass to Gore on the right wing. Thought about a tray, got a double team. Returns to Williams at the timeline. Swing it left to Van Landingham. No look pass to Royal coming down the lane. Back door to Moore on the left block. He leans and scores from 2 points over the left rim.
Nice alley-oop there from Darius Royal. Mora finishing big.
13 for Aaron Mora. It's now 2:48 left in the second. Eagles by 22. Their biggest lead, and a travel on the far sideline coming across the timeline was Pierce for the 18th turnover.
36-14 your score. 2:46 here left in the second.
Eagles looking forward to that semifinal game tomorrow. They can still continue with this big lead against El Paso Montwood, who won big in their first game against Pewaukee. Samaje Williams finds Royal coming down the lane. He goes back door to Morgan, who gets flattened, went up in the air and came down on his back, upended from the hip area that time, and his feet kicked up in the air. He getting a chance for a couple of free throws here. The foul on Piedra Vista, that's the 7th, as they charge that one to Randall Begay, his first.
I was worried the way Morgan went down. Sometimes that's where you get injured. You got to be careful about that.
Katre Morgan, 1 of 2 from the line, has 3 points. First free throw's up and a swish for him, now 4. And a sub going to check on for Piedra Vista. Returning is Caleb Johnson. And he comes in for Derek Pierce. Eagles have had 6 players score in this first half and a total of 4 for Piedra Vista. Second shot is up and good. Morgan gets them both. He's got 5. 38-14. Eagles, their biggest lead is 24. Inbound comes to the right baseline to Heidke, guarded closely by Williams. Heidke bounces into him, dribbles to the near side, double team with Royal. Royal's going to pick him up instead. Bounces it across the timeline to Begay. Now guarded by Michael Mackey, who just checked in. Coming back to get it, the sub. That's Johnson at the timeline. Gives it off to Heidke. Top of the circle. Dumps it to the free throw line to Begay. Hook shot coming down the left side of the lane and puts it off the glass. Begay with his first bucket. 38-16, a 22-point lead for the Eagles. 2:10 left in the half. Stop and go. Jalen Gore, shot from 3. Left side, nothing but net. Jalen Gore with 2 trays here in the first half for 6. 41-16 Eagles, up by 25, their biggest lead. Taking his time with the pass across the timeline is Begay. Gets it off to Heidke, near side against Williams. Williams gets a piece of the ball and sails out to the Taskovich band out of bounds near side.
Williams getting some really good playing time here. He's been all over the court on defense and out-rebounding much bigger players out there.
Yeah, he definitely is a spark plug for this team coming off the bench. Long inbound to Decay, top of the circle. He'll back it out against Morgan. Pass unloaded to the right wing to Brown. Return it back deep to Decay. Near the timeline with 140. High one down low to the right block to Begay. Kick it back to the right wing to Decay. He's going to throw up a 3. Off the rim, rolls out to the near side and goes out to the Hobbs Eagles student section out of bounds. Just to clarify here, we've got a Begay and a Decay on the court for Piedra Vista.
Yeah, hard to keep them apart. They even play very similar positions.
Yeah, I got to enunciate a little bit better. Mackey will get it inside to Ramos on the right elbow. Jump stop with the right block off the dribble. Goes up, throws up a flick shot off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound on the baseline. Pulled down by Brown, his second. Bad pass as Morgan goes to the rack with it. Lays it on the right glass. Count it for Morgan. He's got 7 points, and it's 43-16. 27-point lead, the biggest of the game.
That was a late Christmas present right there. There was nobody except Morgan that could have caught the ball.
In the backcourt is Randall Begay. He goes against Williams into the front court. Crossover move, underhands it to the half-court line to Heidke. Taken away by Ramos in the backcourt. He lays it in with a scoop shot right. Ramos now with 10 points. That is the 19th turnover for Piedra Vista. And now we got a timeout as we had an official timeout as Nathan Heidke took a hip hard on the hardwood that time. Yeah. Or maybe it's the leg. It looks like he's trying to work that leg out. He'll have to take a seat on the bench.
That's usually a sign of a cramp or a pulled muscle where he's grabbing.
That takes time for Coach Rees to get some players on. Tyler Box checks in. I guess that's the only one that's going to check in for the Eagles. On the left baseline of the backcourt is Pendergrass. Douglas Pendergrass seeing his first action. Lofts it to the free throw line in the backcourt. Taken away by Jalen Gore for the 20th turnover. Stop and go, right block. Underhands it down low to Morgan, who puts it over the rim with a little hook shot left side. Morgan's on a tear right now. He's got 9 points.
And Jalen Gore is the one that set it up with a nice little wraparound pass.
31-point lead for the Eagles, their biggest of the game. 34 seconds left in the second, 47-16. Spinning move in the front court. Driving his Decay to the left elbow and puts on the brakes. Returns it up top to Johnson. Coming back to get it is Decay. Sends it to the left wing. Brown pivoting, looking for some help. Coming back to get it again on the left side is Decay. Gets a screen up top off the dribble from Pendergrass. Spins to the left corner against Box. Uses up his dribble, turns and fires a 15-footer air ball. Pulled down by Ramos for the Eagles, his 4th rebound. Up ahead to a breaking Box. Uncontested righty lamp and puts it through. Box with 7. 49-16, a 33-point lead, and that will end the first half. This could get into mercy roll in the third quarter. Hobbs 49, Piedra Vista 16. We're at halftime. First round of the 62nd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament, live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
You're clear.
3 minutes, please.
Okay. 2 minutes. One minute. $30. $15.
Plays that at 30.
Okay. $30. $15. $10. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Task Arena. Ty Friend along with Coach Brian Coltrane as the Hobbs Eagles leading big at the half in the first game of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, 49-16, a 33-point lead, 2 away from the Mercy Roll. Coach, Hobbs outscoring Piedra Vista 28-4 in that second quarter.
Wow, that's just amazing turnaround after actually trailing early in the game, down by 6, and that run extends all the way into the first quarter too. Just an amazing turnaround by these Eagles.
Yeah, their lead at 33. The highest lead for Piedra Vista was 7 back in that first quarter, but then all the turnovers started to happen. Piedra Vista with 20 turnovers, just 4 for Hobbs.
And you can see the frustration on their faces. They're at the point where they just don't want anymore.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder because we would talk about the timeouts, and quite a few back-to-back timeouts called by Coach Rivers for Piedra Vista would come back, and then they'd have another turnover quickly and an unforced error on the near sidelines, almost like the kids were kind of rattled during the headlights syndrome.
Oh yeah, and they're tired. You don't have the depth that Hobbs has. Hobbs keeps throwing another 5 out, another 5 out, another 5 out at you, and your starters are getting worn out. And when the turnovers come, they start coming in bunches. That's just the way it happens.
Now, these teams up in the northwest part of the state, are they used to these big crowds?
Yeah, absolutely. Basketball is big up there. You know, when I was up in Maxwell, I was very impressed with the crowds. They would they'd pack the house at every game. So yeah, basketball's big up in the north.
Of course, I mean, Piedra Vista from Farmington, Shiprock, they've got a team down here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. That's a pretty big trip to make from the northwest down to the southeast. But, hey, that's what teams have done over the years. Of course, the Eagles here hosting this tournament have seen teams from Oklahoma, El Paso, Texas, different places in Texas, Arizona. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, and, a team like Piedra Vista, they're looking to get the best quality opponents they can before their district starts. They want to be able to face everybody who's tough. Then they go into districts, and you're not seeing people who are as salty as the ones that you played against. So you've kind of prepared yourself for the worst, and then what the other teams can throw at you isn't the worst when you move on.
Yeah, we mentioned in the pregame show, of course, the Eagles have won this tournament 38 times. It's been played 62 total. And the Eagles have only not been in 9 years of the championship. So 53 of those, they were actually in the championship game and won 38 of those.
Just amazing. Just absolutely amazing.
And, of course, I mean, there's been different types of quality opponents that they play. We mentioned coming out of big schools and some smaller schools as well. But, Hobbs tends to play better when the crowd is fired up, when they have a packed house here. The six man really helps their cause. And sometimes if the crowd isn't as big, you don't see as much of that momentum that you normally get.
Oh, yeah, the crowd brings an energy level that helps you on defense for sure, and that energy level's been there tonight.
We're going to take another break, come back with the stats. We'll take a 2-minute break. Hobbs up 49-16 over Piedra Vista as the first round of the 62nd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament continues on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
You're clear.
2, please.
Okay. One minute. $30. $15. $5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Here at halftime at Task Arena, Ty Friend, Coach Brian Coltrane with you. Hobbs up by 33 over Piedra Vista, 49-16. We mentioned first quarter, Hobbs up 21-12 and outscored Piedra Vista 28-4 in the second quarter. Let's get the quick scoring numbers. Not much going on for Piedra Vista, although they've had 5 scorers. The leader is John Decay with 5 points and 4 rebounds. He had one of the trays, at least for Piedra Vista. 4 for Axel Ramos with a couple of baskets. 3 points for Nathan Heideke, who is 1 for 1 on the line, and a bucket apiece for Randall Begay and Benjamin Hoff. They've only shot 2 free throws in this game, made 1 of 2 for 50%. Their top rebounders, Decay, with 4. And for turnovers, though, 20 total. We mentioned that already, and that was not a good stat for that team. One player in double digits for the Eagles, and all 10 of his points coming in the second quarter. That was Jesus Ramos, so a big quarter for him. Right behind him, though, in the horse race, Jalen Gore got all 3 of his trays in the second. He's got 9. Trey Morgan also scoring 9 in the first half. He had 3 for 4 free throw shooting for 75%. And Aaron Mora had 9 points and 4 rebounds. So Hobbs right now with 6 scores. They were 4 for 7 from the line, 57%. Had 4 turnovers compared to those 20 for Piedra Vista. Top rebounders Ramos and Mora, both with 4 apiece. But really the defense has been the deciding factor so far, Coach.
Without a doubt, and that defense is already ready to play. They're already up in their faces, and they haven't even got the ball in inbounds, man.
We start the third quarter, Piedra Vista basketball. The inbound bouncer coming into Randall Begay. He'll take on Jalen Gore at the timeline. Throws it across to the left wing to Pierce. Touch pass up that same side to Hobbs. Mora right on top of him. He's one of the best big man defenders I've seen on the perimeter. Pass up top to Randall Begay. Bounce it down in the left corner. Again to Pierce. To Begay. He had to jump for that one. Sends it over the right wing to Pierce. Drives the right base. Tries to pivot. Spins. Throws up a shot on the hook on the right side. No good. Bounces out the bottom of the backboard and pulled down by Mora for his 5th rebound. Up ahead to Gore. 3-on-2. Back door. And there is Ramos laying it up with his left hand off the glass and scores. Ramos now with 12 points to lead the Eagles.
That was all hustle points for Ramos.
And we're at the mercy roll now, 35. Clock will continue to run even on the out of bounds. Couple of yo-yo passes in the backcourt. Pierce gets it across to Begay. Goes baseline. Gets rejected by Ramos. He gets the rebound as well as he tips it out over to Moore on the far sideline. Sends it ahead, but a bad pass. It's taken away by Piedra Vista, and that will be their Eagles' 5th turnover. 6:55 remaining here in the third, 51-16. Eagles by 35, and they're going to call the travel as Begay tried to take on Mackey around the left perimeter and slid the pivot foot and picks up the 21st turnover.
That's just an amazing amount for this point of the game.
A three-point shot, top of the circle. I'm going to say, was it on the line there?
No, it was an alley-oop
Oh,
to
I'm sorry.
Mora.
It's on the ball loose, and I looked away for just a second there.
Yeah, Mackey to Mora, alley-oop.
So Mora now has 11 points. He's second leading scorer. Bad pass to the far sideline for Farmington. We're making Piedra Vista out of Farmington, and it's last touched by the Eagles. So they'll have it on their far sideline. Axel Ramos to get it in. Throws it to the time stripe. Bring it across is Brown. Coming to get it is Decay on the left wing. Slows it down. Is coming up to guard him is Ramos. Over to the right wing. Holding it for a second is Begay. Goes down low to the right block, and is scooped by Ramos. That's Axel Ramos for Piedra Vista. He's got 6, 53-18. Eagles still by 35. The biggest lead has been 37 here in the third quarter in the mercy roll. Pass to Moore at the free throw line. Clinks out the front of the rim off the J. And picking it up at the free throw line is Randall Begay for a second rebound. Pass is deflected back to him on the left wing now. Brings it across the timeline, a high one down to Brown in the left corner. Has to save it, but right to Ramos. Turnover number 22. Sends it ahead to the Eagles. Jalen Gore, double clutch off the right side glass. He's got 11 double digits now for the Eagles.
I like the way he floated up to the rim on that one.
37-point lead once again with 5:28 remaining third. In the backcourt is Ramos. Axel Ramos lost the ball, chases it down in the front court, kicks it up top to Pierce. He'll hold it and finds Begay on the right wing. Ramos will put a hand on his waist. Dumps it down to the right block to Brown. Spins against Gore. Bounce pass to the right corner to Decay. He'll drive baseline. A runner on the way, and it's good right through the hoop. Decay now with 7. 55-20. Still a 35-point lead. A mercy roll in effect. Into the front court comes Gore off the left wing. Ramos going to spot a 3 off the back of the rim. In the middle of the paint for the sky-high rebound is Axel Ramos for Piedra Vista. Throws it across to Begay on the right wing. He'll slow it down, patting his head on the near side to the timeline. Down to the left corner to Brown. He'll hold it with a jab step. Ramos gives him a little bit of a cushion. Bounce pass left elbow to Decay. Turns and spins. Dumps it back door right block to Ramos. He tries to go up with it. Axel Ramos is fouled. We'll see if he's in the act of shooting that down that time as he got chested by Jesus Ramos. The two Ramoses going head to head.
Mass substitutions waiting to come in for the Eagles too. He can tell, but the guys are not moving as quick. So he's going to get somebody in that's going to move.
First foul on Jesus Ramos, first on the Eagles here in the second half, and puts Axel Ramos on the line for the Panthers. Kind of fell across the free throw line and bricks it off the back of the rim. He misses the first one. They're now 1 of 3 from the charity stripe for 33% are the Panthers.
And you can see the frustration on the coaches of Piedra Vista. Rivers keeps throwing his hands in the air like, what was that?
One more now for Ramos. I guess I better put the Axel in front of it as Jesus Ramos actually got subbed out. Van Landingham just came in. The miss on the free throw, but tip back up and in over the front of the rim by Brown. So he gets his own rebound, third board and first points of the ball game. He's got 2, 55-22. Gore will send it off to box front court right wing. In the paint to Ross, who just checked in. Gives it over to Van Landingham, left baseline. Leans and tries to pass low to Moore. He has to chase it down to the right corner. Cross court left to Gore. He'll spot up that NBA fadeaway 3. In and out, no good. Tipped around in the middle of the paint, brought down by Begay for the Panthers. Outlet to the near side to Decay. Back to Begay. He's in the front court. Stop and go against Van Landingham. Slides to the floor. Is able to keep his balance. Pops back up. Uses up his dribble. Van Landingham all over him. Gets a piece of the basketball loose. And they're going to say he got a part of the arm as well against Begay as Van Landingham picks up his third personal, second team foul.
Van Landingham was just manhandling him there. He had nowhere to go because anywhere he stepped, Van Landingham was there.
The inbound to Brown and gives it back to the timeline of Decay. He'll slow it up. Unloads the pass to Begay on the right wing. Down low again. Another scoop shot for Axel Ramos. He continues to dominate on that right block. He's got 8 points. 55-24 underneath the mercy roll. It's a 31-point lead for the Eagles. 2-3 zone now for Piedra Vista. Pass to Moore on the free throw line from Jalen Gore, and he turns the J right through the hole. Counted for 2 for Aaron Mora, who now has 13. 57-24. Pass to the timeline. Brought across by Pierce off the dribble. Goes the rack. Swatted by Mora. He'll chase it down on the far side. Throws it across the timeline to Gore. 3-on-1. Goes scoop on the left glass and puts it through. Jalen Gore with 13 points. 59-24. Eagles again by 35. The mercy roll. And looks like we have a illegal inbound. Possibly Piedra Vista stepped on the baseline, and they will get the turnover added to their bad stats at this point. They've got 23 turnovers, 20 of those in the first half. Clock is running with the mercy roll again, 2:35 even on the inbound. Van Landingham left baseline, tries the alley-oop to Moore on the paint, taken away for Piedra Vista, turnover number 6 for the Eagles. Coming in the front court, spinning with the dribble is Pierce. Goes back door with it, a shot on the way and a foul from behind. Trying to go up strong was Derek Pierce. There's a Derek Pierce and a Devin Pierce both on the court. So bear with us on that as well. I'm going to go with the first names. That'll be Derek Pierce on the line. So we got a couple of Ramoses, one for each team, a couple of Pierces on the court for Piedra Vista.
And you got the Decay and Begay.
Yeah, there we go. 3 fouls on the Eagles as the shot up, and for Pierce off the back of the rim, no good. That was his first attempt in the ball game. Subs checking in. Katre Morgan on the court. Ramos is back on now. Is taking a seat Jalen Gore and Aaron Mora. Van Landingham will stay on. Box is on the court as well. Second shot is bouncing around the rim and falls in for Pierce, 1 of 2 from the line. 59-25 Eagles. Ball pass to Ramos on the far side and fumbles it out to the scores table right near the half-court line and gives it right back to Piedra Vista for turnover number 7.
Well, Ramos and Box were wondering who was supposed to get that ball. They both looked at each other, hit Box in the back of the leg. Yeah, not good choice there.
Pierce will bounce it in to the left wing to Hoff. Kicks it down to the left corner. Driving the paint is Pierce. Devin Pierce, a hook shot high off the back of the rim. Ramos will rip it down for the Eagles, his 6th rebound. Throws it down low, and there's a layup on the way for Ronnie Ross, right side, his first bucket. Eagles have 7 scores, and a steal by Van Landingham. Gives it back to Ross, and he lays it in again, this time in the left glass for 4 points total. Van Landingham with the steal, and that is the 24th Piedra Vista turnover. 63-25, Eagles by 28. A steal at half court by Ramos. Backdoor to Box, gets fouled high in the air. Ball comes off the back of the rim, but he'll get a chance for free throws.
And that was one of those plays that things were just going wrong in a way for Piedra Vista, and finally he just had to foul just to stop the action.
That'll be charged to John Decay, his first. And that will be the first team foul against the Panthers. They've got 25 turnovers so far as Tyler Box heads to the line. His first free throw of the night, he'll get 2. He's got 7 points. First free throw's up and good, make it 8. Box came into the game shooting just 33% from the charity line, so definitely going to help out with that free throw. He'll get 1 more. Eagles were 4 for 7 at halftime, 57%. Second free throw, a swish for Box. He's got 9 points. 40-point lead for the Eagles, their biggest of the ball game. Trap pressure going on for the Hobbs. Ball sails across the timeline, getting away from the defenders is Pendergrass. Goes reverse layup coming down the lane, left to right, and puts it through his first bucket. 65-27. Here come the Eagles. Van Landingham with 1:08 left. Drives the lane. Double clutch over the right glass. Kind of a sidewinder that time, and he gets it to drop over the hole. Count it. Van Landingham's first bucket. 67-27. Back to a 40-point lead. Into the front court. 2-on-2 down the lane. Reverse layup right to left is Hobbs. He's fouled going up. Comes off the left rim, but he'll get 2 free throws out of it on the foul.
I like the reaction from the Piedra Vista bench when Pendergrass made the layup. He's a player, but evidently doesn't play as much as some of the other guys did. And when he made that move and score, the entire bench got up and cheered for him.
Jesus Ramos picks up the foul, and that's the second on him, 4th on the Eagles. Pendergrass is a junior. That matters any there. First free throw is up and good. As getting it to drop is Hoff. His first free throw of the game, he's got 3 points. This team was only 1 of 2 at the half from the free throw line. Didn't get many opportunities, but the Eagles are just taking the ball away from them on every other play.
Absolutely.
One more shot for Hoff is up and swish. He's got 4 points. 67-29. Eagles by 38. Ball comes across. Ramos quickly over to Ross, right wing. Back to Ramos. Swing it left to box. Fakes it 3 with the jab step. Over to Ross, left elbow. Fade away, Jay, and swishes it through the threads. Ross with 6 points, all coming in the third quarter. Hobbs up by 40 again. Half-court pass complete to Hobbs. Comes down the lane. Semi-hook from the left block. He's challenged in the air by Morgan, who comes down on his arm after the swat. And the foul. No count on the bucket as it hit the back of the rim.
Yeah, Hoffman's a beneficiary of a little snow burning there. Had an opportunity to make a three-point play, just couldn't get it to fall.
First on Morgan, 15 foul, and right back to the line goes Hobb. He just made those 2 free throws seconds ago. His team, though, is trailing by 40 points. First shot is up and swish. And where was the big change, Coach? I mean, there was a 7-point lead for Piedra Vista in the first quarter.
Yeah, once that we started hustling, started making plays, that was a big difference.
One more shot for Benjamin Hoff, 5 points to his name. 3 free throws here in the third quarter. Misses the last one there. Rebound by Van Lanningham on the right wing. Paired board, throws it down to Ramos. High arching layup over the right side and puts it through over the defender that time. Good follow through for Ramos. He's got 14. 71-30, 41-point lead, the biggest of the game. Still in mercy roll. That's going to run out the clock as Piedra Vista can't get a shot off. Hobbs up 71-30, a 41-point lead over Piedra Vista as we head to the finale. Live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube, home of the 62nd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament.
You're clear. How long did you need?
60.
That's what I thought. Thank you. $30. $15. $5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hobbs Eagles outscored Piedra Vista 22-14 in the third quarter, and they lead by 41, their biggest lead of the game, 71-30. Piedra Vista yet to get a double-digit score. Axel Ramos has 8, John DeKay was 7, and the shot for the Eagles, Mora with an 18-footer left side, no good. Pulled down by Randall Begay, his 4th, and a steal by Morgan. He's in the paint, that's turnover number 26, gives over to Ramos, right wing, and spots up a tray. Ramos now with 17 points after that tray. He's the team leader, 13 for Jalen Gore, 13 for Mora, 9 apiece for Box and Morgan as we head the 4th. Full court pass to the other end for Piedra Vista, right corner. Is Hoff, drives the lane with the lefty hook shot off the left rim, no good. Mora rips it down with a washing machine elbow throw there, his 6th board. Up ahead, going up high is Gore, but gets rejected from behind and pulled down on the rebound by Hoff. Hoff will give it off to his guard, Randall Begay in the backcourt. Stripped by Gore near the time stripe. Uncontested lefty layup after the steal. Jalen Gore with 15. That's the 27th turnover for Piedra Vista. And now we got some bodies colliding as it looked like Michael Mackey trying to jump in the air to take away a pass and run the heck over of Derek Pierce. So Mackey will get his 2nd personal, 6th team foul against the Eagles here in the second half.
I'll tell you what, this Ramos kid from Piedra Vista is a pretty good athlete. Seeing some of the things that he's done tonight, he's kind of been their leader.
46-point lead for the Eagles, their biggest of the game here in the mercy roll. Into the front court, pass rejected from DeKay, but it gets to the hands of right elbow to Ramos, as you just mentioned him, and returns back to DeKay on the left wing. Near the scores table now, sends it to the left side again to Begay. He'll hold it on the perimeter, guarded by Ramos. High pass to the free throw line to Ramos, Axel Ramos, down low left block to Hoff. Double clutch, rejected by Mora and pulled down for the Eagles by Ramos, his 7th rebound. Bounce pass ahead to Jalen Gore, left corner for 3, and nothing but net. Jalen Gore continues to hit the trays in this ball game. That's his 4th three-pointer. He's got 18 points, 79-30. A 49-point lead, the biggest of the game now for the Eagles. Into the front court, long ball, going up with a layup on the left side and getting run over by Ramos. They're going to say the block was clean, though, as he took a swat at the ball on Derek Pierce and knocked it to the baseline. Both players took a tumble, but very close to getting a foul on that one, Coach.
I think what the Eagles are doing right now is trying to figure out how to get to 100.
3 subs will check in. Van Landingham, Box, and Ross. Taking a seat will be Mackey. I think he got a little bit hobbled as he hit the floor that time. Morgan and Mora also exiting. Hobbs up by 49. Now Ramos will check out as well. We got Samaje Williams on the court. Also coming in, Royal. It looks like Box, Ross, and Van Landingham. Time out on the court. We'll take a 60-second break. Hobbs up by 49 over Piedra Vista. We're back here in the fourth. Come back in 30 seconds.
You're clear. $15. $5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. 79-30, your score. The Eagles up on Piedra Vista as the fourth quarter continues. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Ty Friend.
You can hear the Taskovich band in the background playing here at the 62nd Annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Eagles have won 38 championships here at this tourney and lead by 49, which is a mercy roll. Been that way since early in the third quarter. Piedra Vista will get the inbound left corner of the front court. Decay thought about a three, tries to throw it down low, stolen by Samaje Williams. That's the 27th turnover up ahead to Box. High scoop shot on the right side. He lays it in for 2. Box now at 11. It's the Eagles right now with 4 players in double figures, and we've got a time stop here. There's a, looks like a double foul. Oh, technical foul.
Yeah, basically they got Box for interfering with the inbounds. They had warned him earlier in the game.
Okay.
And then Box bumped into Ramos as he was bringing it in. So Box gets the tee.
Hobbs Eagle fans booing the call there. Box with his first personal 17th foul. That'll be a second or 2 free throws for Tex here for John Decay. He's yet to shoot one. They are just 5 of 10 from the charity stripe for 50% are the Panthers, who trail by 51 points. And some boos now for Decay. First free throws hard off the front of the rim. He goes 0 for 1 from the stripe.
Into the game for Box is Gilberto Miranda seeing his first action tonight.
Yep, Gilberto checks on. He's a perfect free throw shooter for this Hobbs Eagle squad, the only one on the team at this point. Decay will get one more. Shot is up, and it is a swish. That's 8 for him. Also be possession for Piedra Vista at the time stripe due to the tech. They'll get a sub in to Paul Brown. The officials are trying to stop action here as, the sub didn't get off quick enough. He's finally running off the court there. That's Axel Ramos. He's got 8 points, tied with Decay for leader, who has 8 as well after that second tech throw. Inbounding at the half court is Begay, gets it in, front court to Hoff, who does a pivot, takes a dribble against Van Landingham, and then hands it off behind to Decay at the timeline. Unloads to Begay on the right wing, down to the right block, goes Hoff on the spin, hook shot off the back of the rim, no good. Pulled down by Brown, puts it back up, no good. Rebound for the Eagles. In transition goes Darius Rowe after a second board. Back door to Gilberto Miranda, but he's tied up as he goes through the air and gets stripped, and it fumbles off his hand out of bounds on the baseline.
I think everybody wants to get Gilberto some points here.
8 turnovers now for the Eagles, who lead by 50 points. Lead has been as big as 51. Steal by Morgan on the inbound near side. 54 turnovers. Pass to Ronnie Ross, left corner. Air ball on the 3. And ripped down underneath and taking a little washing machine spin was Pendergrass, his first rebound. Up ahead to a breaking Decay. He tries to go up strong, and he's rejected hard by Darius Royal and sends that right to the wall behind the bucket.
And boy, he got up there high and threw that into the bench. That was a big block.
Darius Royal with the slap on the leather that time. It's going to be Piedra Vista ball. Van Landingham's going to take a seat. I think we got another sub on the court here for the Eagles. That is Jordan Chisholm. Inbound to the right corner. High 3 on the way off the back of the rim for Decay. No good. Rebound for the Eagles. And that was Nick Pena. He sends it ahead to a breaking Eagle. Laying it in for 2. The other sub, Jordan Chisholm puts it home for his first bucket. And the bench goes up strong on that one. 83-31. 52-point lead, the biggest of the game. Into the front court. High pass to Begay on the right. Top of the arc. He had to jump high for that one. Sends it over to left wing to Johnson. Stolen on the far side by Darius Royal. Another turnover. He'll go down the lane. Right side, a tomahawk jam. They're going to call a foul from behind. They're going to say intentional and violent foul as Royal shaking his head. he's having some good self-composure there not to retaliate on that one. He got taken out pretty hard from behind. That's what they call clear the lane on this one. A 2-shot foul regardless. They'll get the ball back too, Coach.
I don't think that they've realized that it's a technical foul.
That's going to be a call against John DeKay, his second team foul. They'll clear the lane. Darius Rowe on the stripe. He's yet to shoot a free throw in this game or score. 36% from the line this season, but he definitely wants to make it up for that with 100% here. By himself, first free throw bounces off the front of the rim, no good. He'll get one more, trying to get himself in the scorebook. And looks like for Piedra Vista, Coach Rivers is going to go back to his bench, bring in a sub as well. And that will be Devin Pierce. Second shot for Royals, good. Royals in the books with 1 point. Hobbs up by 53. And that's their biggest lead of this contest in the Mercy Roll since early third quarter.
I'm watching this exchange between Coach Rivers and the referees. He's trying to plead his case that it should never have happened.
Looks like they're bringing a towel in here. Some wet surface there on the left baseline. And taking care of that Ramos for the Eagles. He's actually one of the players on the court. Now he's bringing a bigger towel in here.
What doesn't this young man do?
Yep.
He rebounds, he blocks shots, he hits threes, he makes layups, he cleans the floor.
Yeah, a little bit more sweat than they were expecting on that first mini towel they had out there. And we got some pushing and shoving going on. Darius Royal is kind of battling up with Paul Brown. The fans are starting to see it. One of the officials has to run to the middle of the paint to get them to stop the action there. The rest of the Eagles kind of watching the cleanup efforts on that left baseline.
Yeah, Brown kept leaning into Royal.
Kind of surprised that Ramos is still in the game. Actually, no, he's not in the game. He came out inbound to the left corner, 3 on the way, and the shot good for Gilberto Miranda. You said they're going to try to get him to score, and they do on that one. Eagles up by 56, or 56, their biggest lead. Into the front court. Spinning around with the dribbles, Douglas Pendergrass. Bad pass, deflected though by the Eagles. Getting a piece of it on that far sideline, Nick Pena. The Hobbs bench has been exploding a few times here late in the fourth. They know this game is in the books. They're up by 56, 2:18 remaining on the Mercy Roll clock. Him into the right elbow. Goes Pendergrass, hook from the right block, no good. Rebound by Darius Royal, his third. A 3-on-2, comes down the lane, 1-2 and up, and extends his arm over the rim and puts it through. Close to being a dunk that time, he's got 3. 89-31, 58-point lead for the Eagles.
You can tell they really want to get to 100, they're pushing.
Bounce pass from the lane, Begay, right block, back door, laying it in is Brown for his 4th point. 89-33, here come the Eagles. Long pass down to the left corner to Miranda. Sends it back to Williams on the near side in front of the Taskovich band against a 2-3 zone. Bounce pass, right wing to Pena. Back up top to Williams. Sends it back to the left side to Miranda. To the left elbow to Royal. Fadeaway Jay with the foot kicked up in the air. No good off the back of the rim. Pulled down underneath by Brown for his 5th rebound for Piedra Vista. Gives it off to Begay in the backcourt. Zigzagging left, down to the right. Hands it off to Johnson, still in the backcourt. He takes on Williams. They're going to say he carried the basketball, and Williams did a great job of just moving, sliding with him, not giving up much ground and causing the turnover.
But that's what he's great at. He's kind of annoying. You get under him. You can't get around him. He's too fast for you. He's up under your dribble.
31 Panther turnovers in this ball game. Williams at the top of the circle. Finds Pena on the right wing. Bounce pass, right corner. 18-footer, fadeaway, air ball for Chisholm. Underneath the hoop for the rebound for the Panthers is Pendergrass, his 2nd. Outlet to the near side. Over across the timeline off the dribble is Begay, as he is guarded for the Eagles by Miranda. Unloads to the right wing, driving baseline, Pendergrass right, and they're going to say some hand checking going on there for the Eagle defender, and that'll be against Jordan Chisholm.
That'll be a 1-and-1 situation with the clock moving. That'll probably end up costing the end of the game.
Chisholm's first foul, as you mentioned, Mercy Rural bonus here, 8 fouls. Hobbs student section chanting, start the bus, showing those keys right now as we wait for the free throws from Pendergrass. They run the clock on a 1-on-1 bonus, but not on a 2. As you mentioned, that probably will get the game in the books. First free throw good for Pendergrass. He's got 3. Now they're stopping it on the 2nd free throw. 15.5 remaining. Second shot for Pendergrass is off the front of the rim, no good. Pulling it down and then backpedaling with it is Begay, his 5th rebound. Bounce pass near the timeline to Pierce, left side. Guarded closely by Williams. High pass to the left wing to Begay with 5 seconds, an 18-footer, and a foul going up with it as getting a piece of him was Jordan Chisholm. That will run out the clock, though. They won't shoot the free throws. That's the ball game. Your Hobbs Eagles winning by 55 points over Piedra Vista, 89-34 here in the first round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 62nd annual. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
You're clear.
3, please.
Okay. Two minutes. One minute. $30. $15. $10. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. The Hobbs Eagles with a big win over Piedra Vista, and the Eagles will move on to round 2 of the holiday tournament here, and they will face El Paso Montwood. But, man, what a game from these Eagles, Ty.
Yeah, 89-34, a 55-point victory. Of course, a mercy rule since early third quarter, and Hobbs up by 33 at the half. They just kind of coasted their way through, and not really coasted, they just dominated, let's say that. 31 turnovers for the Panthers in this game. That's not what you want to do in front of a tenacious six-man like the Hobbs Eagle fans are here at Tasker.
No. And you can see the frustration, the fouls at the end and stuff like that. Piedra Vista had a lot of heart. Those guys got out there and played. They didn't stop running the entire game, but you can tell that this pace was just a bit too much for them.
Yeah, in fact, there was 20 turnovers just in the first half and 31 overall, and Eagles with only 8 on their side of the coin, so definitely a big difference there. Another big number, too, the three-pointers. Hobbs hitting 8 of those in this game, 4 of those from Jalen Gore, so he had half of those numbers from the perimeter.
Yeah, Gore is just always a threat from the outside. He missed his first few, then he got hot in that third quarter and started putting them in.
Looking at the Piedra Vista scoring, first of all, nobody getting to double digits in this game. A couple of guys getting close, but not much more. Axel Ramos with 8, 0 for 1 on the line, had 2 rebounds. John DeKay, 8 points. He was 1 for 2 from the line, hit a tray, and 4 rebounds for him. And then the drop-off in scoring, Benjamin Hoff with 5 points. Paul Brown, 4 points and 5 rebounds. Nathan Heidke ended up with 3 points, 1 for 1 free throws. Douglas Pendergrass was 3 points, 1 for 2 on the line. And then Derek Pierce went 1 of 2 from the charity stripe for 1. Randall Begay finished with a bucket for 2. So they had a total of 8 players that scored, but nobody in double digits, so that's a very good feather in the cap of Coach Reeves and this hard-fighting defensive team for the Eagles.
And they played defense from start to finish. They did not give up and stop playing defense even when they got a big lead. And, you know, you're talking about the scoring. I think when Heike went down with the injury, we never saw him return. He was kind of one of their big ball handlers. I think that may have affected him as well.
Yeah, he definitely looked like he was there, had the most energy out there too. Piedra Vista 7 of 14 from the line at 50%. Top rebounder Paul Brown with 5, and Randall Begay also with 5. John DeKay finished up with 4. Again, 31 turnovers in the game. They did have 25 rebounds. And for your Hobbs Eagles, lots of guys getting a piece of the pie in this one. In fact, lots of people loading up in the double-digit category. In fact, 4 did that, and 1 getting close as well. Top scorer tonight, Jalen Gore. Those 4 3-pointers we mentioned, 3 of those coming in the second quarter. He finished with 18. Didn't get a chance to go to the free throw line in this game, but again, streak shooter there, and he's a guy that we didn't think was going to play possibly in this tournament. Heard that his wrist was pretty bad, but he sat out the 2 games in Las Cruces last weekend, but did come in and start in this game and got those 18. So again, he only needs, I think, 23 pointers to get 200 on the career for him. So he's really pumping them out.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I tell you what, they're going to get a good product from him in college, and I think they really got themselves a steal. Yeah, I really think he's a D1 prospect.
Yeah, he's going to be going to Oklahoma, one of the schools there, and then he's going to be hopefully getting
Cameron,
yes, right. Jesus Ramos right behind him, 17 points. He had a tray in the game, had 7 rebounds as well, so definitely doing a great job. He had 10 points at halftime to help out the Eagles' cause. So those two combined for 35 with Gore and Ramos. 13 for Aaron Mora. He went 1 of 2 from the line, had 6 rebounds, and definitely a force to be reckoned with. Continues to light him up for the Eagles. Came into the game averaging 17.4, a little bit beneath that average, but still in double digits, helping out the Eagles. Tyler Box coming off the bench for 11 points. He had a tray and was perfect on the line, 2 for 2. Definitely another steadfast player for the Eagles, and he was a great guy on the head of that transition game. After getting some steals for Hobbs defense, he'd usually be ahead of the pack there to lay it in off the glass. So 4 guys in double figures. Trey Morgan just barely missing by 1 point. He had 9 points. He was 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. Michael Mackey with 5 points. He had a 3-pointer as well. Gilberto Miranda coming in late in the fourth quarter, hit a tray for the Eagles, so he had 3 in the books. Ronnie Ross had 3 buckets in the third quarter for 6 points. Ethan Van Landingham playing some tenacious defense, had a bucket for 2 in the game. Darius Royal went 1 of 2 from the line, had 3 points and 3 rebounds. Jordan Chisholm gets in the books with a bucket and 2 points. So lots of guys converting for the Eagles in this one. 7, 8, 9, 11 players scoring in the game for Hobbs. So you got to give a lot of credit to this team. A lot of subs getting in that fourth quarter as well. 8 3-pointers, as we mentioned, 7 of 11 from the charity stripe, 63%. They finished up with 21 rebounds, 7 for Jesus Ramos, 6 for Aaron Mora. Hobbs with only 8 turnovers and 31 for Piedra Vista. Eagles scoring 22 points in the fourth quarter, just 14 for Piedra Vista. So, single digits all over the place quarter after quarter for their opponent tonight. So Hobbs winning 89-34, 10th win of the season, Coach.
Yep, and a big one. It really, this is going to be one of them tournaments that the final game may be something that really helps us learn where we are compared to some of these big wigs in the Class 6A.
Earlier tonight's first round game, El Paso Montwood taking care of Pewaukee, a 75-48. So a Texas school beating a New Mexico school there, a 27-point victory. And you saw a little bit of that game. Both of us did at the end there. Second half action. You're from El Paso. You know all the bunch of schools, high schools, different divisions there down in the Sun City. What do you think about Montwood's chances against the Hobbs Eagles at the pace that we saw tonight with the Eagles?
Well, we've seen it already. We've already played Montwood. We beat them almost as much as that we won this game tonight. Montwood's a well-coached team. They got a former college player, UTEP grad coaching them. But I just don't think that they're far enough along in their development but they can handle the press over 4 quarters.
Again, if we have a big crowd like we did tonight, that'll definitely be another 6-man advantage that we usually have at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Of course, earlier tonight, we had this on our sister station, Eagle 100.9. The Lady Eagles winning their first game of their tournament over Pebble Hills, out of El Paso as well. 66-41, 25-point win there. Lots of girls getting involved with the scoring. Anaya Joseph, a double-double, 18 points, 15 rebounds, 13 points for freshman Jayla David, and 10 for Kendall Cunningham, another freshman. And of course, we know several freshmen getting a lot of time on this Hobbs Lady Eagles team. Also, 14 rebounds for Brett Clay. She's a senior, though, but still, everybody liking it. I'm sorry, she's a freshman. What am I saying? She's another freshman. I'm jumping the gun there. So, a lot of good things going on. 50 rebounds for the Lady Eagles in that win over Pebble Hills by 25.
Yeah, it shows you the balance of this team, shows you the depth of this team. Doing this without the star player, you know, it's nice to see these other girls step up. You know, we're gonna miss Wisdom Anthony this year, but you know, it's nice to see that the other girls can handle the load.
So Hobbs winning, going to 8-5 on the season, and they will play tomorrow night at 6:30. That'll be against Tucson High School. That will be on our sister station, 100.5. The Eagle. We'll have that game around 6:15 with the pregame show. HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on the Hobbs Athletic page, and then we'll switch over right back here to Cool 95.7 for the boys. Try to get that on about 8 o'clock with the pregame as they'll take on El Paso Montwood. So definitely lots more hoops action. Full day of action going on here at Task Arena, not just the Hobbs games in the nighttime bracket there, but also throughout the day starting at 8 o'clock here at Task Arena. So make sure you come out and support. We'll have the other games broadcast. Unfortunately, not everything, but the Hobbs teams will have throughout the rest of the tournament. It's been a long day for basketball, Coach.
Hey, it's a basketball junkie's dream.
Final score again tonight, Hobbs winning big over Piedra Vista from Farmington, 89-34. The 62nd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament continues tomorrow again with the Hobbs girls and boys, Eagle 100.5, and then your Hobbs boys are at Cool 95.7. Hope you have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.
You're clear.
Thanks a lot, Tiffany.
Have a good night. Good night.
You too, guys.